Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome back to Symbaroum, a Throne of Thorns. My name's Nate, and I will be your host for today's adventure. And today I'm joined by two incredibly talented individuals. Unfortunately, the rest of our cast is off doing adult stuff, but they will be back with us hopefully for the next session. And in a moment, we'll go ahead and introduce our two wonderful players for today. But first, a couple quick announcements and shout outs to our wonderful sponsors and friends of the Initiative Order. Starting off with Session Zero Clothing. Session Zero, they create some really cool, badass TTRPG inspired streetwear. If you use code INITIATIVE at checkout, or I'm sorry, code ORDER at checkout, ORDER, you can get 15% off your purchase through them. Next up, we have the wonderful dice crafters over at Norse Foundry. If you use code TIO15 at checkout, you can get 15% off your purchase through them. Next up, we've got our friends over at Mithril Armory. If you use code INITIATIVE, you get 10% off of their products there. They're the ones who created the really cool puzzle D20s as well as sketch dice, super cool stuff. And last but certainly not least, we have our very own Taryn, aka Valrook, aka the creator of Umbral Oculus Dice. She makes some super beautiful handmade dice. If you use code INITIATIVE, you can get 10% off a full set of dice through her website at Umbral Oculus. So check that out. With that, let's go ahead and meet our wonderful players for this evening. Let's go ahead and start off with our resident witch, Kovaan.
Hi everybody, happy Sunday. Thanks for coming by. You can find me on IG. I'm not Kevin Bacon. On Twitch, Alohoy808. And I gotta change my Twitter to my same thing because I don't only play D&D anymore. I do whatever. But yeah, I play Kovaan. My coven member is not here today, so I will be creating chaos with Aggie.
Love it, the chaotic duo themselves. All right, let's go ahead and meet Aggie, please.
Hi friends, my name's Coral. You can find me over on twitch.tv/queerventuretime and Twitter at QVenturetime because Queer Venture Time is what? Too many characters. But yeah, we're silly, we're queer, we're chaotic. We go for wholesome vibes around unwholesome topics. And today I'm going to be playing Agithe for full. And she's just she's got some secrets that are a hair's breadth. Oh, that's the phrase, right? A hair's width, hairs sure. that are really close to being revealed, and she's a little stressed about that right now.
I love it. We absolutely love it. And unfortunately, we're missing the rest of our crew today. Christine, you can find her at Slumberjane. She's another Twitch streamer. Absolute, total sweetheart. Go support her. Check her out when she streams. We also have the wonderful Leroyal Tut, aka Royalty No Y, on all the socials. Another Twitch streamer, actor, entertainer, phenomenal dude. Check him out, give him some support. And last but not least, our other resident witch, Kelsey. You can find her at Tombs and Tomes, and today is actually her birthday, so happy birthday, Kelsey. Hope you're enjoying your day and having some fun out there, and we are super looking forward to having you back for the next one. With that, let's go ahead and dive back into the world of Symbaroum. And welcome back. So, before we dive back into our story, let's go ahead and catch up to where we currently stand. As I know, a couple of us have been kind of hit and mid on a couple sessions, so might be a little lost at this point. So, just to kind of recap where we left off, our group of explorers, you are all currently in the town of Thistle Hold, currently on a mission for the Sun Temple, but not really for the Sun Temple, more so for one of the heads of the Sun Temple, who disagrees with the Sun Temple, if that makes sense. This individual by the name of Deceba has tasked all of you with kind of calming the tension between the Sun Temple and the Mission House. The Mission House being run by an individual by the name of Father Sarvola. And Sarvola is an individual who believes that the church holds too much power and too much influence over the people of Ambria. And he runs his own private mission house, is very vocal about wanting to return some of the power to the people themselves, so that way they can make choices on their own without having to worry about pissing off Prios. And as you four were kind of going to the mission house, kind of jumping in the long line of individuals waiting to be helped, there was a small attack that took place, which resulted in Sarvola taking off out of the area and a couple of the neighboring buildings being burnt to the ground.
Completely by accident and of no fault of our own.
Nope, exactly. One of them just happened to drop an oil lantern that just chaos ensued.
Oh, darn. Don't fight with oil lanterns. That's the moral of the story. Anyways, continue.
And from there, Keen had summoned her familiar by the name of Muffin, and you followed Muffin to this little courtyard, discovering a couple buildings that shared this little area. One owned by an older Ambrian man who was just trying to enjoy his dinner and his time, but Keen decided to interrogate this individual ruthlessly, really to no avail, though. In the other building, you found what appeared to be a meeting place for some individuals, where you'd found some initials embroidered into the chairs that sat around this large table. In addition to that, you found 5 coats that belonged to soldiers from the Great War. Upon more investigation, you took this information back to Lady Deceba, who kind of gave you a bit more insight onto the initials themselves, and revealed that 3 of these individuals are still alive and within Thistle Hold. You are currently returned back to the Rose Garden Inn to kind of regroup and make a plan from here. You've heard rumors that there are a couple individuals who spend time bouncing around the Toad Square and the taverns over there, getting drunk fairly frequently, as well as you've been given the address of another of the war individuals by the name of Kargoy. You have his address, and you know that the individuals known as Sarek Audio and Roya Garanka are the 2 that kind of frequent the taverns. So where I will place the 2 of you are back at the Rose Garden Inn. At this point, Keen and Nrobso have both kind of returned to their rooms to kind of rest up, recenter themselves. But as it stands, I'll put the 2 of you kind of out in the hallway outside of your rooms. Both of you rested up, kind of equipped, freshened up, however you wish. And this is where we currently stand. The actions are yours. I will say at this point, it's probably getting on to be the evening time. So you're probably looking at about 4 or 5 o'clock.
A little addendum to the recap. Don't forget that Nrobso took half of the old man's roast.
He did steal half the old man's roast. Yes, you tormented that poor old man. He just wanted his dinner.
Chaos goblins.
That was too funny. That was so good.
But you have your 2 leads. Keen had expressed interest in checking out the mansion herself, but the choices are yours. You've got the lead where you could head to the Toad Square. You could go off to the home of Kargoy, or you could just head out into the town and see what you can find. Whatever the 2 of you would like to do, but you're currently in the hallway in clear view of each other. The actions are yours.
Good evening.
Well, Yeah. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. The two old folks are the ones staying up late for the night. Isn't that how it, the opposite of how it usually goes?
Sometimes the ones who have leveled up have the most stamina.
Well, I don't know. How do you feel about we start off with a beverage while we make a plan?
Beverage is always a good start. Ending, middle.
I like the way you think. Aggie's just gonna start hobbling downstairs, just chilling. We're just taking our damn. I hope you. Oh God.
What are you talking about? Taking our time. That's my regular speed. So I'm following, using my cane, following Aggie down.
This is gonna be an episode of fucking Symbaroum meets Golden Girls today, isn't it?
What would be wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing. But it just hit me as we said the first two lines.
My damn sciatica is bothering me today.
Oh, wait, that's right. I need to roll. I need to see if fun fact. Did you know that we use dice in this game? The dice that I forgot to grab.
It's all good. Hey, we got them now.
What was your daily roll again for?
Okay, so because I took the elderly
Burden.
what is it? It's boon and burden. I took the elderly burden. So every time I wake up, I have to roll a what's it called? Check. Sorry. No, it's just I don't roll it when I wake up. I lied. It's my first test of the day. If it's good, if it succeeds, then I'm having a good day and it's fine. If it fails, then I get a -1 to all of my tests for the entire day.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Because the sciatica's flaring up. Like literally.
Damn weather.
Yes. Oh, it's a little humid today. I can feel it in my joints.
To add on to Aggie's burden chat, mine is slow. So creature or person moves at unusually slow speed. So that's a blistering pace for me.
I love us right now.
So the two of you take about 20 minutes to get to the bottom of the staircase here down to the lobby of the Rose Garden.
Does nobody help us?
As the two of you are coming down the stairs, there's nobody around currently.
All right. Well, do they at least have a
Aggie.
handrail?
But I
There
think
is a
I've worked
handrail.
up an appetite.
Oh my goodness. She's becoming like from New Jersey now today. Oh my goodness, yes. Me too. Let us catch our breath. Get energized for the evening, and we'll set out. I will go hobble over, sit down, and just like to the bartender.
Oh, yes, miss.
Yes, can I get one? How is your stew?
I mean, it's not the freshest, but it's filling.
feeling something warm and hearty tonight. We'll go with, I'll take a bowl of stew and a mead and, darling, look at Kovaan.
I'm gonna look at the server and what do you recommend for this evening?
Well, on the menu tonight, we've got stew.
Which is not the freshest, you said.
Correct. But I'm afraid that's all we have currently prepped up.
I guess it would be stew then, wouldn't it?
That's your choice. I will fit your stew.
I'm not sure why you have menus. I will also have a mead.
A mead and stew, 2 stews and 2 meads. Excellent. That will be 1 Orteg.
I'm going to reach in my pouch.
Oh, thank you, darling.
And whatever an appropriate tip is, I will add that on also.
And I'm going to look...
Shillings.
I'm going to ask him, and what was your name again?
Oh, apologies. That's very rude. I keep telling the boss we really should be wearing name tags for these types of situations. My name is Kenny.
Oh, I'm surprised it's not Stu.
He kind of just takes the money and turns and walks back behind a double door.
Depending on his actions, it may well be, Aggie.
we're just cutting it up. This whole game. The entire session's just going to be an early bird breakfast.
That's what you came here for, Twitch? Early bird special.
Hardcore combat roleplay session.
Find out what the cuisine is like in Symbaroum.
And a few minutes go by, and Kenny comes out with a tray with 2 very, very large, like tin bowls filled to the brim with what appears to be just chunks of meat and this very, very thick broth and some veggies kind of sliced hastily on top of it, and places it both down in front of either of you, as well as your glasses of mead. Oh, enjoy.
Thanks, Stu. Kenny, thank you for the stew. Kenny, that's what I meant to say.
He just kind of shakes his head and walks back behind the double doors.
You must forgive me. After you'll understand in a couple decades, Kenny.
I don't think he's deaf, Aggie.
No. I will not be ignored, damn it.
I'm going to peer into my bowl and take a little sniff of it. And just kind of judge it for a little bit. I'm weary on the freshness.
Give me a vigilant check here, if you would.
I don't think that number is very great. Nope, that is a 9. And we fail because we rolled a 10.
The bowl is warm. You kind of get the hit of some faint spices kind of mixed in here, but you're kind of looking at it and inspecting it. It doesn't seem terrible.
Yeah, Aggie's just gonna dive in because she has definitely eaten worse before.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So you go ahead and start just heaping spoonfuls of the stew, and as you kind of chew in on it, the meat itself, fairly tough, fairly chewy, a little bit of a gamey taste to it. But aside from that, the spices kind of help cut through some of that gamey taste. The vegetables, slightly mushy. in your mouth. You kind of scoop up some carrots, and where you expect kind of more of a bit of a nicer crunch, they just kind of melt in your mouth. But by no means it doesn't make you feel like you're just going to immediately chuck it up. It's just it's food.
Yep. Yeah. He's just gonna. Somebody went hunting and can taste the iron in the blood.
I'm kind of coming from where I came from. The gaminess actually appeals, so I kind of give it a nod of approval.
Mm-hmm.
I like their choice of the meat.
Yes. I feel like they could have prepared it just a little bit better, but I know that it's always hit or miss. It's a very fine line with this type of stuff, but I think they did a good enough job considering they just chucked it in a pot and let it sit.
It'll do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna finish the whole bowl, down to picking it up and taking down the broth. Set it down, give it a nice big yummy. So
excellent.
Now that I my stomach has been full, I feel like my brain can start to work. What am I doing? What do you have any preferences as to where we're heading off to tonight? From what I understand, you all did some talking while I was running the shop yesterday.
The original plan was Nrobso and I would look at several of the bars and see if we could find Serex or Roya and kind of gain favor by playing up their exploits and their heroism to try and see if we could glean information. And Keen was going to go to Cargoy's and see if she could get some information from him at his residence. That was the original plan, but as you know, our plans never go by the numbers.
I mean, this original plan with Nrobso, did it seem like there would be any danger, or is it just a conversation? Because
just a conversation. There was no plan to do any confrontation, more just to gain favor over drinks and tales of his past. Kind of boost his ego so we be friends.
Kovaan, I think you and I would do a wonderful job with that. I don't know. I don't mean to speak for Nrobso, but it doesn't really seem like this would be his kind of. He's not one. He's not much of the talking type.
Well, neither am I, but we were excited to try it.
It's fair. My interactions haven't been all entirely successful either, so who am I to talk?
But if you would like to choose that path, I would love to accompany you. If anything, we'll have a grand evening.
If anything, we'll get some drinks in us. I think it's time for the the elders of the group to have a night on the town.
To let our hair down, so to speak.
Yes, exactly. Aggie's is still kept nice up tight in a bun and will not be coming down.
I pick out some leaves and twigs out of mine.
No, nice. So yes, did you say there? How many places were we going to? 1, 2? I know we were talking to people, but they're at one place. Sorry, my brain's just a little foggy. You know how it goes.
DM, did you give us the exact location, or were there choices? I couldn't remember.
So, what Desabed told you is that the 2 individuals are known to frequent the Toad Square, which is an area that you have been to before, where you know there is the Saloons of Symbaroum, which is the first tavern that you went through, the 3-story building. However, there is another well-known tavern down there known as the Slaughterhouse as well.
Okay.
Oh.
But those are literally within a couple blocks of each other, so very easy to navigate to.
So I'm going to look at Aggie. It was mentioned of a new establishment, the Slaughterhouse, that we have not frequented. If we would like to try that place first.
Quite a name. They're definitely attempting to pick up a very specific type of clientele with that.
Seems like a good place for an old warrior, doesn't it?
Yes, this is true. Those trying to relive their glory days, I'd never understand. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, Aggie's just gonna start getting up from the table. Thank you so much, Stu. And the hobble her way out of the bar. Shall we?
Put my meat down and pick up my cane and start following Aggie.
Oh well, make sure you finished that, right? Make sure you finish it. Don't leave a cup half empty.
I'll grab it.
Stunning. Now we can go.
All right, 2 of you exiting out into the streets of the of Thistle Hold. You know that the Toad Square is directly to the north of your current location. Probably take you, between the 2 of you and the pace that you move at, probably a solid 20 to 30 minutes walking for the 2 of you to make your way all the way up to the northern area.
Since we're taking so damn long, can we take in the sights, people watch, all of that shit on the way?
You absolutely can if you like. So you continue to begin moving towards this area. Go ahead and give me a vigilance check if you would.
So we're both taking in the sights?
Yes. That's a 3 out of 11.
I got a 1
out of 11. And a 1. Damn.
Nat 1. Oh yeah. In this game, Nat 1s are good.
They are the shit. Excellent. So the 2 of you kind of maneuvering your way through the streets as you see businesses starting to shut and individuals coming out, as the streets kind of begin to fill with Ambrians of all different ages. You begin making your way up towards the north, and the first place that you pass by almost looks like this large open, almost like an open air coliseum, kind of situated towards the northeastern part of town. And you see a sign hanging above it that says the Abomatorium. And as you're walking by, you can hear what almost sounds like battle going on from within this area. You hear the sounds of metal, swords clanging together, men and women just shouting and crying out battle cries coming from this large area. You see individuals as they're kind of walking through, you see them each as they all kind of have coin purses in their hands, are walking in. Almost looks like some kind of fighting arena where people can go place bets if they want to. It's kind of the sense that you're getting from this area. And you continue walking on. Just beyond that, about another block down, you see another 3-story building just situated on one of the corners of the street. And this one has a swinging sign hanging above it that says the Hangman's Pole. And as you're kind of passing by, you see that a lot of the windows here are kind of closed shut by darkened curtains. And you see a lot of men walking into this one.
Okay. Are they wearing a lot of leather?
A lot of them look to be dressed just normal type clothing.
Because, see, I'm trying to figure out if Thistle Hold has a gay bar. Because, look, the Hangman's whatever, I'm letting you know that would work as a gay bar.
You from standing outside here, you can't tell what it is on the inside. You just notice quite a few men entering into it.
Aggie's gonna look at Kovaan and just be like, I would like to investigate further.
The building intrigues you, or the clientele? And I smile.
Aggie says, in my many years of travels, I have come across a group of people who have a phrase that is "Porque no los dos?" which means, why not both? And it's
I'm not familiar with that
phrases.
language, but if it intrigues you, I will follow.
Oh, it's from a far-flung region in I don't know another continent on this world, but from there. Yeah, and Aggie's literally just go. I just want to try to walk up, try and listen in on the conversations that people are having. Just because I want to know why the fuck, the hangman's post, the hangman's
pole.
The hangman's pole? You mean to tell me a bunch of men are going into an establishment that called the Hangman's Pole? I'm telling you right now, this is a gay bar. Yeah, Aggie's gonna hobble up and try to listen in on a conversation. See if anybody's talking about Cher, I guess.
Go ahead and give me a vigilance check if you would.
Fuck! That's a 13 out of 11.
Oh no, as you're kind of passing by trying to listen in on any type of conversations that these men might be speaking of, you're not really picking up anything of interest. A lot of them are just talking about their work days and their children and just their regular mundane everyday life facts. You're not really picking up any bits of spicy information.
I'm gonna walk up to the front door. Are they waiting in line outside?
Oh no, they are walking right into this place.
Okay, yeah, Aggie's gonna walk the fuck in.
Okay.
As soon
You
as
walk
she walks
through.
in, you just hear.
You open up, walking in through these double doors, and you are immediately hit with the sound of some kind of dance music being played. And as you kind of look up to the stage, you see these individuals wearing these very tight purple pants, their shirts off. One of them's like plucking away on this bass-looking instrument. Another one's just panging away on this drum kit. You see
It is a gay bar!
The flutes, and you just see men, as far as the eye can see, at every table, just cuddled up next to each other, drinks in hand, they're cheering, laughing it up, hugging. You see a couple individuals just making out off in the corner, and they're just having the time of their lives in this little tiny area of this bar here.
Aggie's just gonna give a nice big nod of approval and say, proud of you.
The bartender kind of like stops and just looks towards you for a moment, Aggie, and just, everyone's welcome, come on in.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna turn around to Kovaan and be like, a pit stop.
It's the most spirited place we've ever been to, and seems to be the most friendliest. Let's take the bartender at his word and enter.
Yes. God, wow, this really did turn into an episode of Symbaroum X Golden Girls. Yeah, Aggie's just gonna hobble on up to the bar and be like, it's so nice to see establishments like this just out and having a good time. It's so wonderful.
And with all the shit going on out there, I mean, you gotta come find a place to let loose every now and then.
Honestly, that's that. How do you think I made it to this age?
So I've not seen anything like this. I'm just gonna kind of look around in wonderment and look at the bartenders. So this is the definition of letting loose. We have nothing like this where I am from. I am not
Aggie points
a city dweller.
Aggie points to like a couple like over in the corner, like making out, like half naked, and Aggie just points and is like, no. This is not the definition of letting loose. That's the definition of letting loose.
And I nod my head. Noted.
Oh, if only I turn back to the bartender. I'm like, if only you'd caught me a couple decades ago, I would have been out there with them.
It's never too late.
Oh my God, this literally reminds me of the last time I went to a gay bar and straight up, my roommate and I were like dancing in the corner, and there was like this 45-year-old mom who was there, and she was all like, yeah, my husband has the kids for the night. Nice. And she was living her best fucking life. You don't even know. She was tearing up the floor. Oh my God, I love this.
Can I get the two of you anything to drink?
Look, I can imagine an establishment like this would have something a little more fun than mead. Am I correct by that?
We've got lots of fun things hiding back here.
Oh!
He kind of winks up towards Kovaan.
Oh!
I'm gonna look around at the bar. So the drinks is there anything I would consider fancy looking from what I'm used to?
Oh, everything. Everything in this bar looks fancy.
So I'm just gonna point to one of them. I would like to try one of those. That one right there.
You got it. And
Aggie, would you like one of these?
Glasses and
It comes with a thing on it, I see.
Yeah. Does it look like fruity and fun?
the one that Kovaan pointed out looks almost like an old fashioned. And he begins mixing that back behind the bar.
I'm gonna pick out something that looks fruity and fun.
Something a bit more sweet for you, my dear. Very well. He starts
Literally,
mixing.
if there's something that has an umbrella in it, that's what I want.
And slides over a couple drinks. Kovaan, you get what essentially looks like an old fashioned. And Aggie, you get this beautiful purple concoction in like a nice martini glass. It's got like an olive poked with a toothpick just kind of sitting right on the rim of it. Slides it over to you.
Cheers, darling.
Cheers.
So the two of you new to town then?
Oh, I look at Kovaan and be like, well, I mean, at this point, can we really say that?
Everywhere I go is new.
Are you from Blackmore? Vindaros?
Oh.
I don't remember, GM, where I was from.
You were kind of just living. Your coven kind of lives more so on the edges of Davokar itself, not within one of the Ambrian settlements.
Right.
So these names.
I just didn't know what the area was called.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just basically the edge of Davokar. Is where you're from. I would say you're probably fairly close to Thistle Hold, because Thistle Hold's kind of within the forest edge of Davokar. You can see that the edge of Davokar from Thistle Hold itself. So you'd probably be from just a little either to the east or west of Thistle Hold, your choice.
Okay. So I'm going to look at him. I'm from way out there.
Oh. Are you living out with the barbarian clans that are out there?
And I nod. Oh, you know what I'll do? Because I don't know what it means, the wink. So I'll wink back at him.
Okay. And what about you, miss? Where did you blow in from?
Well, first you need to be careful with who you use that phrasing with, because somebody will make a blow joke. But I've been everywhere. I've been so many places in my life and times. I've sung a lot of songs, and I've made some bad rhymes. I'm so glad you understood that reference. Thank you. All over. Originally from Ambria, though. That is where I have spent the majority of my time, just here and there and all over. I've got a... Oh, yes. You'll see my cart out and about. If you ever see an old lady in the back selling potions and ingredients, that's me.
I'll stop by sometime.
Oh, I absolutely will after this wonderful warm welcome. A question. While we're here, this seems like a really wonderful respite from all of the goings-ons. As you said, you have to let loose sometimes, but that being said, there is no denying that there's been some pretty unusual happenings going on here. Just from our time here, we've okay. I'm sorry. I don't know you very well at this point, and it may just be because you're a good bartender, but I feel like I can trust you. Is that true?
Your secrets are safe with me, dear.
Okay. See, because you know how some people don't like it when you start to observe things? Well, we've been observing a lot of things. Like I don't know if you could give us any insight, but there seems to be some form of power struggle going on between the many ruling interests in the city, the Black Cloaks, the Church of Prios, the Ordo Magica, and the sinkhole. Have you been affected by that sinkhole that just randomly appeared? If you heard anything,
I've been trying to avoid that area. From what the guards say, and I've had a couple of the Queen's Guard come in here and enjoy themselves. But I've overheard a couple of them mention they're still hearing noises coming from that damn thing.
Yes.
But I don't know of anybody who's dared venture down into it.
Yes, it'd be a quite dangerous quest indeed, I would assume. What do you and what's the general feeling towards the church around here?
Depends on who you ask. I mean,
I'm asking the people in this establishment specifically.
This one
because these are the only people who I care about their fucking opinions on churches. I mean, what?
For the most part, they leave us alone. They can get extreme at times, but it's mainly when dealing with newcomers and issues surrounding the forests. It seems like they're pressing down harder and harder on trying to keep the people of Ambria contained to one area. They have a lot of control over the supplies. They have a lot of control. I mean, and a lot of it's because, many of them were the ones who fought against the undead in the Great War. And they believed that it was Prios who gave them that victory. So I understand why people appreciate what they did and appreciate what they're trying to do. Personally, I'm on the side of the mission house and what Father Savola is trying to do with helping others and making the supplies more readily available. But as I said, the church, for the most part, they treat us decently enough. It would just be nice if they would share the wealth and supplies a bit more.
Understood.
Hearing Sarvola's name, I bump Aggie a little bit. The booze is starting to get to my head. Sarvola, that's the guy that we're looking for.
Yeah, yes. We've heard about this Sarvola character. Seems to be a pretty nice dude. Do you know where we might be able to find him? Since he's, I heard about what happened at the mission house, and
unfortunately, it's not the same guy. Unfortunately, it's not the first time he's been attacked. As I said, there's many extremists within the church who label him a heretic and would do anything to see him dead. Usually when he's been attacked, he lays low for quite a few days before resuming operations.
And those operations, they resume at the mission house, or?
Oh yes, he's not shy. He continues to operate from his home. It's where he began it all. It's where he'll stay.
I appreciate his confidence. Gonna look at Kovaan and just say, I think my brain has been sufficiently tickled. Um,
When he lays low, does he go to another town? Or he
It's
finds
possible.
safe passage here?
No one really knows aside from there's usually a child that helps him operate. I think it's someone Sarvola kind of took under his wing. He's really the only one that's super close with Sarvola, and usually when the attacks happen, the two of them disappear. I don't know if they stay in town, if they head for Blackmoor. Maybe the goblins help hide him in the Karabadox. I don't know. No one really does. I try not to pry because, again, I personally agree with what he's trying to do, and I'd rather see him safe. And so I try to,
of course,
know as few of his secrets as possible.
Understood. Don't need to. You don't need to explain anything about secrets to us. We get it.
You both seem well experienced.
Oh, a little bit. I mean, I'm sure working in an establishment like this, you're familiar with dealing with lots of people's secrets. Give a little wink.
Oh, I can't tell you how many of these gentlemen are having affairs.
Oh, I mean, who knows what agreements they've got in their relationships.
Fair point. Again, the less I know, the better.
The less we all know, the better. Well, Kovaan, do you have any other burning questions for this wonderful bartender? I feel like we've taken up so much of his time.
What were the things that we were trying to get from Kargoy?
So Kargoy is being one of the individuals who fought in the Great War against the undead. He holds significant influence with the church.
Got it.
And so Desiba has kind of asked that you try to get him to change his mind on his views of the mission house, and in hopes that that will kind of help calm the tension if he says, hey, lay off him.
Sweet.
So I'm going to ask the bartender's opinion about him. This other fellow that we're sort of interested in, Kargoy, is Kargoy Salamos. Know much about his demeanor, actions?
He's certainly one that keeps to himself, it seems. Though I don't know him that well, I've heard that during the Great War, he and his band of soldiers faced a lot of corruptive powers head on. And it seems like it stuck with him the most out of all of them. Whenever I've seen him, he doesn't physically look like an abomination. But and it could be that he's dealing with a lot of mental distress from the things he saw out there. He's not the most welcoming man. But I have seen him talk and have conversation with others. But it seems like you have to be someone really important to gain an audience with him.
Understood.
I know he still has a home here in town. Him and his neighbors are two from his band. Those two are a bit more social. Surprised you can't hear them shouting out in the streets right now. They usually get pretty drunk and loud and rather annoying.
Would that be Serix and Roya?
That would be them.
So I look at Aggie. I think the choice to meet those two was the better.
Yes. I will defer to your judgment on that one, Kovaan.
Yeah, I think the original plan would be best. but I am not rushing you. And I finish off the drink that was made.
Yes, I definitely think that this was a very necessary detour. And Aggie's just gonna give the bartender a big old smile, and say thank you for making our evening just 10 times more wonderful than it would have been.
Always a pleasure meeting newcomers. Please come back at any time.
Oh, trust me, we will, and we will bring friends.
I'm gonna leave him a tip for his friendliness and the information, and nod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would that be an Orteg?
Basically shillings are coppers, ortegs are silver, and thaler are gold in this world. So orteg would be kind of the middle.
Okay.
Swap shilling and orteg.
There you go. Shillings in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll leave him a shilling.
He'll gladly take those and slide them across the bar and put them in his pocket. And you hear the music the beats kind of slowly start to pick up a little bit. You see him kind of starting on his head and kind of slowly start unbuttoning his shirt from behind the bar and dancing and start grabbing bottles and serving the next individuals.
You just hear the bard being like, "Do you believe in life after love?"
Oh, I love it.
I hope you know, Nate, because I am confident that this place does not exist in the source book, but we need to message Free League and let them know, bitch, it's canon now. There's a gay bar.
Hangman's Pole is a gay bar.
Wait, is there actually a bar named Hangman's Pole in the source book?
There is an entertainment spot called the Hangman's Pole, but there is no description of what it actually is. It is now a gay bar.
There is now.
You can't tell me. Look, all right, they knew what they were doing. Free League. Thank you. Appreciate you for this. Oh, gosh.
Drinks are had, tips are left.
We dance a little bit on the way out.
Grooving your way back out onto the streets of Thistle Hold. You have probably about another 15-minute walk or so before you get to the northern part of the Toad Square.
Stunning. Can I make another vigilance check while walking down the street just to see what we see?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me another vigilance check if you would.
This is literally... God damn it. So 12 out of 11.
12 out of 11.
Show flush.
Unfortunately, you're just kind of still hearing the loud rhythmic bass noise coming out of the Hangman's Pole as you're walking through. Not really picking up on any conversations or seeing anybody of note as you're making your way through the streets.
I'm not paying attention to anything because I'm just kind of a little bit of pep in the step, but just following Aggie.
As much pep as Kovaan can have in his step.
Exactly.
Excellent. You continue to make your way north before the streets kind of open up and you see that very familiar statue of the large metal frog sculpture with the large silver bell hanging around his neck. You also see the tall beacon that was lit when the witches had first arrived here at Thistle Hold. Over to kind of the on the left-hand side towards the northeastern corner, you see the familiar 3-story building of the Saloons of Symbaroum. And you also see a couple individuals heading down another eastern, just walking down a couple more blocks. You see larger crowds kind of moving in that direction as well. So, the actions are yours. What would you two like to do?
So, they're supposedly in a tavern, right?
That one I mentioned to you, the slaughterhouse. seems like the best bet.
Well, can
Plus,
I see
it's
the?
new.
Yes. Can I get a look at like the patrons going into the slaughterhouse?
Yeah, so if you kind of follow the crowd more towards the east, you see what appears to be like two small houses that are kind of like pressed up against one another. And you see two entryways on either of these homes. You see individuals as they kind of begin entering in. As you approach, you're definitely hit with the scent of almost like a really nice barbecue of just all these meats just being cooked that kind of fills up the air. And even though the homes themselves look fairly run down and dilapidated, the scent of the food that's cooking in the air smells absolutely phenomenal. And as you're kind of approaching, you see Amrians of all makes and sizes. A lot of them, a couple of them look like they're probably blacksmiths that are in the area, kind of with their large, heavy leather aprons and their large tool belts. Definitely look a bit more built and sturdy. Heavier set individuals kind of walking into this area, but you also see women and children also entering in.
I was gonna say, oh, okay, so this is the bear bar. But yeah, Aggie's just gonna look at Kovaan and be like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't have had all of that stew. Goodness me.
The aromas of this area do smell wonderful. But
yes.
Don't you find it odd that this name of this place is the slaughterhouse? There's little children going in. Is that normal for city dwellers?
My darling, they're probably referencing the meat that they are cooking. I don't think they are actually slaughtering any animals in there. Just cooking the animals.
Oh, that makes sense. And I put my head down and follow Aggie.
Yeah. Aggie's gonna go ahead and walk on in, just get a nice layout of the place. I'm imagining like just a really delicious barbecue joint.
All right. Entering into this establishment, you see basically just one extremely long log table that just takes up the entire center of these two homes. So as you kind of enter in, it looks like the dividing wall between these houses was completely taken out to just make this one large building. Cool. And in the center of it, just one extremely long log table. You see individuals wherever there's an open seat, they just kind of walk in and kind of sit down in whatever open area there is. Kind of from behind a little dividing wall, you see a couple of double swinging doors, and you see individuals walking in and out with platters of what looks like barbecued hearts and livers and steaks. You even see like a couple of very large, what look like almost elk lungs that have been stuffed with some kind of breading, and these are just being brought out and placed on the tables. And though the meats themselves look a little pretty hearty, like Kovaan, you've probably seen these meats out where you've been from, living out in the woods. Aggie, you've seen nicer meats probably served in the capital, more so used to like the steaks and stuff. This definitely looks a bit more gamey. But again, though, the scent coming off these things is absolutely heavenly. And you see these giant platters just being placed down on this log table, and individuals just go in and taking bits and pieces and just going to town on it.
Aggie's going to be like, oh, they specialize in offal. Good for them. I've rarely seen a place that cooks it so well, at least from the smell.
I'm gonna smile at the table because it looks like the community type of setting that I would be kind of relating to. So I immediately like the vibe of this place because it's not confining. Not everybody's not pocketed up or whatever. It just seems more like a free for all that I'm more used to.
Can I scan the room and see if we can see the person that we are looking for?
Give me a vigilance check if you would.
Hell yeah, that's a 2 out of 11.
2 out of 11. Excellent. So as you're kind of scanning through the room, kind of looking through the crowd, towards the end of the table on the left-hand side, you hear the cackling laughter of an older Ambrian woman. And you see her as she's kind of like laughing, throwing her arms up. You see she's got this large tankard of some kind of very dark alcohol, and it just kind of goes splashing around on the people around her. And you just hear from out of the kitchen, the double doors kind of swing over, and you just hear this booming voice go, Roya, calm down. I don't want to have to kick you out again. And Roya just goes, oh, go fuck yourself. And as you kind of look towards her, and as she kind of swings her arm up, with that vigilance check, you can see that her arm is very beaten and scarred up, almost as though it's been slashed and stabbed thousands of times. And as she's kind of slamming her drink down, she kind of looks around, and her face kind of scans in your direction, and you can see that her face is incredibly scarred too. Just looks like it's been pierced over and over and slashed and cut through. Her hair very matted and just kind of tangled into this nasty looking mess on top of her head. And she just kind of sits there slamming her mug back down, just grabs more food and begins shoveling it into her mouth.
Is there an empty seat next to her?
As it stands, as soon as she kind of splashed some alcohol on the individuals next to her, the two of them kind of do get up and just kind of give her a dirty look and walk out.
Cool. Kovaan, I'm going to look at Kovaan and just sigh.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 out of 9, so I didn't pick up on any of this.
I'll say you definitely heard the commotion. You just didn't quite make out the scarring that she has.
Got it. Well, according to the description of the bartender, maybe that ruckus is where our friends are.
Oh, from the sounds of it, look at us, always running headfirst into trouble. Yeah,
Shall we?
After you.
So I start going, but I'm still going to be behind her because slow.
All right. So the two of you kind of go ahead and take your seats here next to Roya. And as the two of you are kind of settling in, we'll go ahead and jump to our quick break here. So thank you all so much for tuning in so far and sticking with us for the first part here. And we'll see you all back here in about 10-15 minutes or so. Stick around. Thanks so much.
Lego.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. So, where we are currently at, our two party members are currently in the tavern/restaurant known as the Slaughterhouse. The two of you have found your way over to a couple empty spots next to the individual you know as Roya. And as you approach, you can see now that her scarring runs just all across her body to where it's very difficult to make out any non-scarred tissue on her body as you approach. You're definitely hit with the scent of alcohol, and though you can tell that some of it's coming off the table where she had spilled, a lot of it is permeating off of her as you approach as well. We have your two open seats.
Like she's sweating it through her pores.
Mm-hmm. Very, very similar.
Gosh. All right.
I'm going to help Aggie to her seat and take a seat next to her.
Mm-hmm.
Which of us is sitting closer?
If you want to sit right next to her, you can. I'll let you two decide. Not. Okay.
I will.
Kovaan,
if you are letting me sit first, I will choose the seat farther away and let you take the seat closer.
Sure.
All right. The two of you sit down, and she kind of just snaps her head and looks at you, Kovaan, and you can see her matted hair is kind of falling messily in her face. And no. Seat saved. Get out of here.
Oh, for who? We just saw two people get up and leave from here. Is that who you were talking about?
You saw wrong. Ain't nobody sitting here.
Is there a waiter around?
Oh, there's a couple servers, yeah, that are kind of walking by with platters.
I'm going to try and flag one down while Aggie's talking.
I'm just going to put my hand on my hip and try to do a complete 90-degree turn, and hope that her drunk ass will take the bait, and just be like, wait a minute, aren't you one of those heroes who saved a bunch of people during the war?
Are you new here? Everybody knows who I am.
Yes. We are new here. Relatively. We've been here for a few days now. We've met a few people, but we've yet to meet you. My name's Aggie. It's lovely to make your acquaintance.
She just kind of takes a big sip of her mug, just puts it down on the table. What do you want, Aggie?
To know what your favorite thing to eat here is? I mean, we just wandered in because we smelled it from outside, and my friend Kovaan here, give Kovaan a little pat on the back, is very fond of this type of cuisine. It reminds him of home.
The aroma of this place is very enticing. And I look for the waiter again.
And at this point, he has made his way over to your table.
Yes,
yes, good evening.
And I look at Aggie. 3 of what she is having.
Ooh.
1 for each of us.
3 of the black brew, you got it. Anything else that I can get for you?
I'm just gonna look at Kovaan and just be like, order a nice platter. Do you have a sampling? Do you have a collection of your favorite bits? Unfortunately, we didn't realize that we were going to be coming here, so we ate beforehand, but the smell was just too good to pass up. We're going to find room. but we don't
you
have
wanna
much of it.
I can certainly get you a sampling of our meats. Any specific cut or type that you're looking for? Or you'd rather just kind of get whatever the chef recommends.
I'm gonna look
That
at
would be
Kovaan.
fine. Yeah, I look at the waiter. That'll be fine. We look forward to it.
Very well. Be right back for you.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm just gonna look back at Roya and say, "I'm sorry. I apologize. We're a bit focused, as you can see, on the food. But what do you enjoy here? What's your favorite thing?"
Stuffed lung.
Ooh. Well, I'm sure they'll be bringing that out.
I will hope to try that. I hope that is on the platter also.
Mm. Have you ever had stuffed lung before, Kovaan?
And I look over at the one that's served there. Not as fancy as what you see here, but yes.
Wonderful. So, Roya. You know, I'm not gonna lie. This is where Coral is all like, "Oh, I still don't entirely know why we were looking for her, because I wasn't here last week."
So I'll reach out and I'll hold Aggie's arm a little bit lightly, and I look at Roya. We are honored to be in the presence of one of the heroes. Would you be kind to indulge us in some of your stories? We love the lore of people who have these epic moments and are able to tell them.
Aggie nods vigorously.
I like this one. Most people are sick of hearing me and Syrinx talk about the glory days, but I was one of the Queen's scouts in the Great War. We were one of the first ones on the ground. I would run through the field scouting ahead, trying to get a count on the enemy. And I was the first one to fucking see them all. Hordes upon hordes of undead. They pinned me to the ground, stabbing me over and over in that field. I was on the verge of bleeding out. Thankfully, Kargoy and his men showed up, swords drawn, and began slaughtering them one by one. Oh, blood rained down all around us. It was such a glorious day. I was lucky enough to be dragged back to the camp. I was able to get patched up enough to get back on my feet and continue to fight. Enough about me. Where are you from?
And I deflect and admire her scars. Your wounds have healed and you wear them really well. Congratulations on your honorable efforts. Tales should be told first person, because at some point we all go away. So to be able to hear it from the person themselves is best.
Aggie's gonna.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Aggie.
She's gonna pipe up and say, and yes, I must commend the person who patched you up, because as a healer myself, from what you described, it would have been very difficult to bring you back from the brink of death, but it only it's a testament to their skill and your tenacity as to why you're sitting here in front of us.
Give me a persuasive roll, Aggie, if you would.
Yeah, that's a big pile of nope. That is a 19 out of 10.
Now she's kind of sitting there. You see her smile kind of slowly turn to a frown, and she's kind of staring at you, Aggie, and just, trying to butter me up with all this flattery is going to get you nowhere fast, lady. What do you really want?
No, I now want to. I'm a healer myself. I want to know. I'd like to share tips and tricks with whoever brought you back from the brink of the dead. That's all.
Well, he's dead now too, so good luck with that one.
Well, I guess that one's that then. But no, I'm just excited for the stuffed lung that we ordered. I'm gonna look around for the waiter. And that black brew. Didn't we order 3 of those?
Come in right now. And you see the waiter as he's grabbing this tray off the table with 3 mugs filled with just a super dark liquid. He comes running over. Sorry about the wait. We're a little busy right now.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And I just give him eyes that like say, please help us.
You're sure you want this one served to? He puts it down in front of Roya. I don't think there's much hope for this situation. Let me go check on your food. I'll be right back. And he goes and heads off into the kitchen.
Appreciate you. And I just look desperately at Kovaan.
I look over at Roya. Please. Be our guest. How lucky we are to come in for a meal and be honored with your tales.
Oh. Give me a persuasion roll, Kovaan, if you would.
That's not good. Because that's not my deal.
It's neither of our deals.
Oh, no. Oh. My persuasion is a 7, and I doubled it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think the only person who has good persuasion in our party is Kelsey.
Yeah, it's Keen. Yeah.
Yep. Keen.
And Roya just kind of takes the ale and just begins drinking it down. I'm expecting my own guest right now, so I'd appreciate if the two of you just moved on.
Our plate will be here soon, and there will be room.
Take your plate somewhere else.
I look at Aggie. It seems our presence is no longer wanted.
Aggie's just gonna be like, it seems so. All right, well, I hope you have a lovely dinner.
And it's at this point the waiter comes back and he's got this platter full of food and he begins placing it down in front of you.
And I'm gonna be like, at the nearest 2 empty seats that are not these ones, please. I apologize.
Look, I don't have time to be moving your food around. He puts it down in front of you. Just take it and move on, please. Wherever you want to sit. I'm very backed up in there right now. He turns and takes
well,
the tray
then
back.
You need to hire more people.
And as you're saying that, and the food's placed down in front of you, you see the two double doors kind of swing open once again. And you see another individual step through. This one's standing about 5'9" or so. Very, very large looking beer gut on him. All of his clothing like just kind of stretching out and stained with various liquids and fluids. And he kind of comes stumbling in. Oh, Roya! There you are. He goes stumbling over, and you hear a couple of the other people who are kind of sitting at the table just, fuck, not him again. All right, come on, let's go. Let's get out of here. Just take the food, let's go. Kind of begin picking up, and as they kind of start walking by, he kind of stops and goes, hey, where are you going? What? The hero walks in and you all leave? One of the Ambrian men just kind of goes, not now, Serix, please. We've got a very busy evening ahead of us. We just like to go. Yeah, sure. No one likes to spend time around Serix anymore. Fuck off with you then. Roya! And he comes waddling over in your direction. And he puts one of his hands down on your shoulder, Kovaan. Who's your friends here?
Oh, I'm going to stand up. Are we blessed with another hero? Look at our luck, Aggie. Please have a seat.
Yeah, there's many more seats available now. And I gesture to what I assume to be an empty seat now across the table, now that the room has cleared out. So,
yeah, I mean, at this point, everybody's basically moved over to the other side of the building.
Okay. So we can either shuffle over or...
Yeah, we're happy to move over if you like.
I would like. Thank you. And he kind of sits down in Kovan's spot, and you can feel the bench kind of creak and give under his weight as he kind of sits down on it. Ugh. And he just reaches over and grabs your mug of ale, Aggie, and just begins drinking it.
I'm just gonna say nothing. Just sit there, smiling, seething with annoyance.
I'm gonna slide my mug over to Aggie.
Aggie's gonna take a sip. How does it taste?
It's very thick, and it tastes like a very thick liquefied black licorice.
Okay, you know what? I think I can. Oh, so it's Jaeger.
Very similar to Jaeger.
Great. Yeah, Aggie is like, oh, I can do this. I can deal with this. And she just keeps on sipping it. Just not saying much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some of the meats on I'm guessing there's a little plate or something, and then I'm gonna slide it over to Aggie, and I'm gonna gesture to Serix. Please be our guest.
Finally, someone who shows some fucking respect around here. He just kind of grabs a plate and slides it over to himself and just begins shoveling bits of meat into his mouth.
The first thing Aggie goes for is the stuffed lung.
Eating some stuffed lung?
I mean, hell, if it's cooked well.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is an entire challenge on Top Chef, okay?
You begin slicing into the stuffed lung, and it falls apart very, very easily, very nice, and you're able to kind of slice yourself off however big a slice you want to start out with. And as you kind of slicing into it, some of the breading falls out, and it smells like a very nice, well-seasoned stuffing that's inside of it here, and you can kind of scoop some of that up with the lung. And as you kind of eating it, you pop it into your mouth, and the lung itself actually kind of melts on your tongue. It's not nearly as tough as the stew that you had eaten earlier. and actually has a decent barbecue flavor to it, offset by the nice spice of the stuffing. It's actually pretty damn nice for your palate.
Hell yeah. Aggie's like just with her mouth full, just gonna like look over at Roya and just point to the lung and be like,
And she just kind of gives you a very puzzled look and just goes back to drinking her beverage and stuff in her face as well.
As soon as I swallow, I'm just gonna be like, this stuffed lung, very good suggestion. Goodness me, it's delicious.
I'm glad you find it agreeable, Aggie.
Yes. Have you tried it yet, Kovaan?
And I was picking pieces off of the platter.
Wonderful. I'm glad. I wouldn't want
Not
you to
quite
miss
like
out.
home, but definitely good.
Aggie's just keep going.
I'm gonna look at
Aggie at this point is listening.
Roya has recounted her tale. Would you be kind to retell us what happened on those days? We love tales of heroism, especially from the person themselves.
The
days of the war. Well, years ago, before we had settled Ambria, back on the south side of the Titan Mountains, my people, well, the Ambrians, the Queen's people, I should say, had to flee from our old home as the Dark Lords had raised the armies of the undead and begun taking over. Though our queen was young, she guided us confidently, gracefully, making our way towards the Titans until it came a point where we had to settle down for camp and turn and fight. We couldn't keep outrunning them forever. Myself and Roya, Kargoy, the others. We were some of the best warriors the Queen had at her fucking disposal. Yet she fucking used us. Every day leading the charge. Up at dawn slaughtering the undead by the hundreds, the thousands. Day in and day out fighting for our lives. Drenched in blood, losing friends left and right, losing family. It was difficult. See those you cared about struck down day in and day out. People you trained, people who trusted you to lead them fucking dying. The hands of these abominations. Shit, day one, Roya, we almost lost her right away. Remember her crying out, pinned down. The sounds of their blades tearing through her muscles. But thankfully, Kargoy was there, and he was a much stronger warrior than I. You should see him. Carving them left and right. The fighting lasted days upon days, till eventually the Queen gave herself over to the Dark Lords. She was held by them for, what was it, 3 years, I think? Maybe more. Before we were finally able to recover her. But you ever close your eyes at night and just see the faces of the people you once loved who are no longer here. Hear their cries ringing out in your head. The screams, the blood, the corruption. Seeing those who you think are going to make it turn in your arms, their bones twisting, their flesh turning to complete blackness. Their mentality just fading away fast to the point where you have no choice but do them the kindness of ending them. That's what the alcohol's for, right? Helps you put some of those demons to sleep, and he just takes his mug and just begins chugging it even faster.
Aggie's just going to she's gonna stop chewing, she's gonna swallow, and she's just going to say, I know I may not look it, but you'd be surprised at how much of your story I understand myself. Can't be easy, but that's why I've dedicated my life to becoming a healer at this point. So nobody else has to go through the same pain that I did.
Oh.
Aggie's gonna go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, in the silence, Aggie's just gonna go ahead and raise her mug and say, to those who should still be here drinking with us.
Give me a persuasion roll if you would.
Did you get it?
Vives, that one was a nat one.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. And with that, Sarix kind of grins a little bit and kind of raises his mug and clanks it against yours. Just begins throwing it back.
Yeah, Aggie's not going to be able to throw it back as hard. She's definitely going to give more than a sip.
So, who are you two exactly? I don't think I've seen you around the hold much.
We are fairly new. My name is Aggie, and my friend here is Kovaan.
I am Kovaan.
Yes.
Aggie and Kovaan. And what brought you to this little shithole out of everywhere you could have picked?
Are you talking about the town or the establishment? Because the establishment,
the entire hold.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, because here it's just because it smelled really good from outside. But the hold, I was originally just passing through, but then we saw some trouble and trying to help some people out on our way. Like, the sinkhole happened while we've been here, and that was very, very interesting. As two people who've been involved in fighting the forces of darkness before, you might have an insight on that we wouldn't. Do you have any opinions?
Don't do it.
Don't do what?
Fight the corruption. Just avoid it. It's not worth it. Leave.
So I kind of look over at him. You tell us to leave, yet with that big hole in the ground, you still stay.
I've had enough of fighting and traveling. If this is where I die, this is where I fucking die. Why move on to another place where people can just talk shit once again and just make more enemies? Here, yeah, the people, many of them don't like me, but that's fine. I'm used to it at this point. And at least I still have a couple companions here with me who appreciate my company.
That is understandable. Some are ungrateful.
But if you are crazy enough to face this fucking corruption, seek out the Ordo Magica. They're the ones who have the most knowledge on magic and the arcane. Or if you can convince fucking Cargoy to even talk to you, he might have some more insight. It seems the corruption affected him more than the rest of us.
And do you have much experience with the Ordo Magica?
Not personally. I'm more so, well, I used to have better connections with the church.
Understood. You used to. Is everything okay?
They kind of frown on this behavior. I kill the undead in the name of Prios, and this is the thanks I get.
Yes, I understand. We've come in contact with a few members, and they do seem to be a I don't mean to say uptight, but you know what I mean.
They hold to their standards a bit.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Much better.
Exceptions are to be made. And I look at Serex.
We have met a few members who we are fairly fond of. Like, there was this one that separated from the church, so we hear. Oh goodness, running a house. What's that person's name? Sarvola.
Sarvola.
Yes. Yes.
You align yourself with that heretic?
We said no such thing. I was merely commenting on the political workings going on in the church. We've just been we've been here for a little bit, and we've been told things. But I take it you are not a fan.
Give me a persuasion roll, Aggie, if you would.
That's a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 11.
Nice.
4 out of something, it succeeds.
Well done.
While I may not align with the church in its entirety, it was Lord Prios who gave us the victory over the undead. And I respect the church's direction. Zarvola wants to undo everything that we worked so hard, what we fought for, what we fucking died for.
Understood.
Are you interested in tracking him down?
Look at
Could
Kovaan.
prove useful.
I mean, at this point, yes, we have been looking for him. Just we don't know much at this point, but we're trying anything we can to help save this town. That's really all we're trying to do. So any information that we might be able to get from Zarvola will be helpful, whether we agree with him or not.
You know, an easy way to save this town is to find the bastard and kill him.
Zarvola? But then, and you think that will seal the sinkhole?
Killing a heretic, one who sullies the name of Prios daily. Taking him out could gain favor with Prios.
I see how one would have those connections for that conclusion. I look at Aggie and I kind of like give a little eye roll.
And yeah, and I just look at Kovaan and I just give a nod. And yeah, I'm gonna be like, I mean, if you have any information as to where he might be, we might seek him out. But also, we might go back to that really fun bar we went to down the street. It was an absolute blast. Are you familiar with the hangman? Anyways, I'm sorry. I could. When you get to my age, you'll understand. Anyways.
Huh. I don't know where Zarvola hides that little rat. There's plenty of places within the hold. You could continue searches in the taverns, the more social areas of the hold, or if you're serious and interested in taking him out entirely, I may be able to get you an audience with Kargoy. He's the one who may have the most information. He still has good connections with the temple.
And if I remember correctly, there's a group of you heroes in this town, right? Do all of you seem to share the same opinions?
Group of heroes. Depends on your definition of hero. There's many groups that operate within these walls. The Ordo Magica, the Black Cloaks, the Templars.
I apologize. I should have been more specific. The group of you that you Roya were in that was led by Kargoy.
The Sellswords.
I say heroes, but yes. Do you all seem to, or did you, when you talk about such things. Do you seem to have the same opinions? You all seem to agree that taking Sarvola out is the best option.
Of course. Cargo would do it himself, but he doesn't seem to leave his home much nowadays.
The eldest of you?
You could say that.
Of course. I'm gonna look at Kovaan and just be like, well, I mean, I don't believe that this is a decision that we can make with just the two of us. We do have friends, and we are going to bring them back here. Oh my goodness, the food is delicious. We have so many places to bring our friends to after today. Goodness, why are they still asleep? They would have loved both of these places.
And the company.
And the company. Which, speaking of Kovaan, have you? You said you've been picking at that, but have you gotten enough? Do we need more? I am stuffed at this point, and you see that her plate's totally empty. All that sampler, she's like, I wish we hadn't eaten that stew earlier today. It was not worth it.
I am satiated. The food here was excellent, and I am ready to move on when you are, Aggie.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm just gonna look over at the Syrinx and Roya and like, well, you two enjoy the rest of your evening, and it was lovely meeting you and chatting with you. And I'm gonna give Syrinx a little finger gun and be like, we'll talk to our friends. We might be back.
And he just kind of takes his mug and just raises it up and throws it back once more.
Aggie's gonna check to see if there's anything left in her mug. Realize that, oh, I left a little bit. Raise it as well. Knock it back. Put the empty mug on the table.
All right. Food and drinks have been had. Anything else you would like to do in this establishment or ask of Roya and Syrinx?
Pay the guy on the way out.
Yeah. I will thank them for their time and wish them well.
All right.
Yes.
Money left. You step out into the streets once more. And as you exit out, you can see now there's quite a few more groups of individuals, and it appears that they're heading south a couple blocks. Heading down towards what looks to be a cluster of buildings, and one of these buildings appears to have a small line of individuals waiting to get into it. But the actions are yours. What would the two of you like to do?
I look at Aggie. Well, we know where the heroes stand with our friend Sarvola.
Yes. I'm still not entirely sure what we're supposed to be doing tonight, but I'm having a good time, and all of this gossip is really satiating something that I hadn't been involved in quite a while. It's been quite fun.
There was hope by Decima that Kargoy or one of his associates may have known where Sarvola was. But seeing as they look at him more as foe than friend, they found him. Our mission would be kind of moot.
Yes. Well, from the sounds of it, it does sound like they have at least an idea of where he might be. They're just only willing to tell us if we're willing to kill him, and I don't know if that's something that I'm willing to do.
Agreed. I'm gonna pass on that info that you gave us, Nate, about what Decibel said about Cargoy's residence. That the plants have more decay. There seems to be corruption left over at his residence.
You do have his exact address as well. That's what I gave that to you.
Because that's where Keen was gonna go. But yeah, his residence is funky.
All right. Okay. LOL.
South is where we came from, Nate?
Correct. You guys are in the northern part of the city currently.
So where the line going into the place was, we did not pass that though.
No, it's literally just as soon as you exit out of the slaughterhouse, it's just a couple blocks down. You can see that there's individuals lining up outside this building.
Got it.
Yeah, let's go. I'm just gonna be like, well, I mean, at this point, we might as well just go and try to get our finger on the pulse, as they say in my industry. I always hated it when fucking casting directors used that phrase. Yeah. I'm gonna gesture over to the group lining up outside that one building and just say, yeah, that looks to be a bit of a commotion happening over here. What's your opinion on this? Shall we check it out?
It might be a good side trip.
Okay. Heading down the area towards where the line is sticking out of this building. The line's moving fairly quickly within. It looks like individuals are stopping to pay what looks like a bouncer, like a cover charge to enter into this building. The building itself, wooden structure, 2 stories, and you see a wooden sign above that says Benegos above it.
Benegos.
Benego apostrophe S. And as you kind of approach, go ahead and give me vigilance checks if you would.
Is there a concert happening inside?
Oh no, that was a critical fail.
This is 12 out of 11.
Oh no.
So close.
Right.
So close, but yet so far.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
making your way over to the line, that is all you can see currently.
Damn, our hearing is really gone.
A little bit.
I'm just gonna ask the bouncer what the fuck's going on.
You too new to town or something?
New enough that this is our first night out.
Well, this here's Benegos. You into gambling?
I look at Kovaan and I'm like, I've been known to throw a few dice once or twice.
then yes.
First floor right in here. You've got the lower limit tables. I think the max they'll go is 50 shillings. Upstairs, if you're really feeling lucky, no limits, but you better have the fucking coin to back it up.
Well, now and if we just want to hang out. Is there a bar?
If you want a bar, closest one is a slaughterhouse.
Yes, we just came from there. Okay, thank you. I look at Kovaan and I'm like, I have sworn myself off from participating in gambling with other people's money. And considering we make purchases mostly as a group, and this is a communal effort, I refuse to be broke and out of supplies, and I can't do that to myself again.
That's probably a wise choice. We shall move on.
Yes, maybe we'll return another night with the rest of the crew. But then I think of Nrobso. Maybe not, however.
He would definitely enjoy himself here.
Yes, many a shiny thing. And the last place is really just the salons of Symbaroum.
That's the only other tavern in this area.
Oh, the salons we're already very familiar with. I don't know, Kovaan. What's your feeling on the matter?
I think meeting with Cargoyle would be best if we brought Keen along.
Yes, I agree.
So if you would like to just end the evening back in our fun little place we found.
Oh, so we finished the job and now we get to go just have fun for the rest of the evening?
You could say that.
Aggie's already up and hobbling in the direction. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. That fucking bartender was the shit. No, that's literally the bartender that gets me to come back to the bars and make sure I know the nights that they are working.
There you go.
100%. I've got those bartenders.
So hobbling your ways back over to the hangman's pole then. Okay.
I'm definitely going to tell the bartender, I'm going to ask, how many people tell you that it should actually be called the hangman's pole?
And the bartender just kind of looks towards you and, you know, that's never actually come up. Thank you for the suggestion, dear. Hangman's pole. I like it.
I mean, it's right there.
And what do you think about that, huh? Gesturing over towards Kovaan. Do you like that name?
It seems to suit Aggie very well, so yes, I am agreeable. That would be a good choice.
Oh, I haven't been considered a man in a long time. I mean, what?
Did we get his name, by the way?
You have not got this bartender's name, no.
Oh, goodness, how rude.
Pardon our rudeness, but we did not get your name. Fine, sir.
Oh, that's all right. You can call me Emir.
Emir.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Emir. That's such a cool name.
So what it'll be drink-wise? You want the same thing as last time?
I would
really
like to
was.
try the purple thing that Aggie had.
Excellent.
It really was delicious. Yeah, I'm gonna have the same thing.
2 purple things coming right up, and if you can mixing those back behind the bar.
Okay, what is it actually called? Because we're not just going. We're not going to be that old, okay? I've ordered many a drink in my time, and I know I can use the proper names.
We call this one the Prince.
Oh, I like it.
And princely it is. I'm trying to find a way to shoehorn a Purple Rain reference in right now, but it's just not happening.
And how has your evening been so far? Did you go out and do some fun things?
Well,
I would not consider it fun, but it was informative.
We did have some great food, though. Have you been to the slaughterhouse?
Oh, one of my favorite places. Oh, they've got some of the best meat.
I was shocked. I mean, to see such cuts prepared so wonderfully. It was... I was, yes, very pleased.
And coming out of those shacks, who would have guessed, right? But, oh, so good.
You never know what somebody will do when they're determined. They'll pull out all the stops. How's your night been, darling?
Busier and busier, but so much better now that the two of you have returned.
Oh, stop it. We're on your way to becoming your favorite customers, aren't we?
Oh, you already are.
You're such a good bartender. Oh my god, we're now literally just role-playing me at a bar. Wow.
So, is there anything else specific the two of you would like to do, or are you just kind of be enjoying your evening here in the Hangman's Bowl?
I'm just gonna have a fucking blast. Aggie's 100% gonna get onto the dance floor, and I would like to know the reaction of all these gay boys to this, like, old ass lady just coming in and like...
Oh, they are just cheering you on and supporting and just hollering away as they are kind of trying to pull you and help you into the center of their dance ring, and they're just going off around you right now. Kovaan, you see a little Aggie shuffling her way to the center of the dance floor. Anything in particular you would like to do here?
So I do small movements and kind of tap my cane on the ground to the music. Because this is all new.
All right, tapping your cane away, Aggie in the middle of the dance floor. This seems like a good point to go ahead and call today's game. When we come back, we'll go ahead and start you all together back at the Rose Garden, where you can share whatever it is you wish to share.
We'll assume Aggie wakes up, hopefully not hungover. I don't know. We'll see what the check is, the resolute check is in the morning.
Thanks for joining us on the nightlife tour, gang.
Yeah, thank you. Not at all what I was expecting for today's session, but here we are. Sometimes you need those weird smoke bomb sessions in the middle of these games, so thank you.
Nate, it was me and Keith.
I mean, it's all good. I only expected the best of the best, and that's what we got today. So thank you all so much for joining us today for this info gathering party club session thing.
It was really informative.
It was. You got some info out of it.
Yep.
So, we did get some good info.
Let's go ahead.
Met a new person.
And, you did. Making more allies. That's never a bad thing.
Never.
So go ahead and shut yourselves out, plug yourselves here. Let's go ahead and start off with Coral this time.
Hi, my name is Coral Reefer. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/queerventuretime and Twitter at QVentureTime, because Queer Venture Time's too many characters. And yeah, honestly, the vibes of the channel are very much like the vibes that happened during the session. Queer and chaotic. Yep.
we live for it. It's all good. All right, let's go and throw it over to Keith.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming by and putting up with our antics today. I know we sidetracked Nate a little bit. Next time you come to Symbaroum, we'll have a guide ready for places to visit. But yeah, you can find me on IG at I'm Not Kevin Bacon, on Twitch at Aloha808, on Twitter, all that D&D. Thanks again for stopping by. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna, Nate, I'm letting you know right now that Kovaan and Aggie are going to start the publication Timeout Thistle Hold.
I like it. I can dig it.
Yeah. So we will have all of the things to do and places to go when visiting Thistle Hold.
So good.
And that's just going to be our side project.
That's what it is now. I like it. And of course, I just want to shout out our missing players for today. Christine, you can find her at Slumberjane on all the socials. Again, another variety Twitch streamer. Check her out. She's fantastic. Royalty No Why, actor, entertainer, another Twitch streamer. Check him out. Phenomenal dude. And of course, Kelsey, our other witch. You can find her at Tombs and Tomes. Again, Kelsey, happy birthday if you happen to see this. Hope you're enjoying your day and celebrating it, having all those good times. And my name is Nate, your internet DMGM. You can find me on Instagram at dungeonmaster_discussions, where I post all kinds of nerdy stuff. You can also find me streaming here, usually as a GM here on the initiative order, and sometimes guest GMing on other channels. Awesome. Aside from that, stick around. We've got Agents of Dune, our second episode coming up here in about an hour at 4 p.m. PST, being GM'd by the fantastic Terran, aka Valrook, the creator of Umbral Oculus Dice. So if you like Dune, highly recommend you check it out. Super cool miniseries that'll be coming on, like I said, about 1 hour or so stick around. Aside from that, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we've got all kinds of projects coming up in the works, so please keep an eye on the socials. And also, we do have a Discord. The link for our Discord might be floating around down the chat. Hop on. We'd love to meet you. We run free-to-play community games where you can come out and test out the systems that you see on our streams and meet different people from the community. Super fun. Truly, I'm so grateful for this damn community. Everybody's so kind and wonderful. We'd love for you to be a part of it and check it out. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you all in the next adventure. Goodbye.